start it, and I'm hoping some nurses will join me, if not now, later, because it's going to be recorded. And I'm just going to go over some things tonight. First off, I am going to go over some foods that help with depression and foods that help increase your immune system. And then I'm going to go over an app. Well, actually, I sent an app to Sally Blessing, so you can, or information on one that you can get 6 months free on the EFT tapping, which you may have seen on Facebook, but it's also really interesting. I think I might have done it on the last session, but it ended up being a one-on-one session with one of your cohorts or colleagues. And so we didn't post it on YouTube. The first one, which is called Maria's Story, is on YouTube. So you can listen to that if you'd like. If you haven't done that yet. And then I have some little tips and things that I talked about on there, as well as just talking about that I'm a registered dietitian. I worked at Mercy for many years. I worked at TriHealth for many years, and also worked in Dallas for many years. And so I'm just going to start off. If anybody's having depression, like I know I have, because of the COVID and just everything that's been going on, a lot of things in the world and the state and the country, etc. And so I'm sure you've had some stressors like I have. So I'm just going to talk about some of these foods may overlap. So just bear with me, but it could be helpful to you. I do want to tell you that you can feel free anytime to get the website at the Recovery Center, hamiltoncounty.org. And I have a lot of different cooking demos on there. If you look under my name, Maria A., Recovery Center of Hamilton County, I have a lot of cooking demos. I did some with my sister, who's actually going through chemotherapy. So she's with me like every other week. And Mercy's, really doing great for her. I went through cancer myself, which you'll hear in Maria's story, and I have my hair back. So I'm doing well now. But anyhow, so just to get started, here's 10 foods that you could eat every day to beat depression if you're having any of that. I know depression, anxiety, all of that goes together, but one is the dark leafy greens. Always be careful if you're on any kind of blood thinners. You probably know that as nurses, Coumadin and such. You want to eat an even amount to keep your INR, between the probably 2 and 3 is what they're looking at. And so you want to eat the leafy greens like the collards, the kale, the spinach, things like that. And that's going to be an inflammation fighter, because as well as help with depression. So keep that in mind. Swiss chard, any of these greens. Also, green beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, seeds, all of these encompass really under the Mediterranean diet. And I've been, trying to really keep these on hand as much as possible. Mushrooms really help with immune system as well, the vitamin D and some other, powerful immune boosting type anti-cancer effects as well. So that can help you all as well as your patients. Just keep that in mind as well, as far as the mushrooms. And they even have like mushroom type powders and tea or coffees and things like that. But I just like the real mushrooms, even like a big portobello mushroom sandwich, or just the mushrooms just sort of cut on a bias, and you can grill them as long as you don't have the flare-ups, because that can be cancerous. So stay away from that. But this comes out of JAMA 2015 Psychiatry, just so you know. Oh, wow. Did I not copy the second page? That's not good. Well, maybe I don't have all 10 of them. Oh my gosh. I missed the, okay, well, we'll be, I think I grabbed the wrong page. Okay, well, apples are a really good one. It's ripe with antioxidants and fiber. So you know that. Pears as well. So keep that in mind. Pears and apples both give a lot of good nutrition, oxygen, fiber, and such. But I'll tell you, I am going to switch to my other information, because I thought both sides were copied and they weren't. So that was my bad. But this information is equally as good, because as far as the coronavirus and COVID-19, we all know that the lifestyle, as far as physically distance, which you really can't do when you're a nurse and you're hanging IV bags and chemo bags and things. But as far as wearing a mask, you all know about that. And I'm sure you've been mandated to do that. I know I wear one whether I'm mandated or not. And so this is the deal. As far as research goes, these supplements aren't really all that helpful, but food is. So citrus fruits, limes, lemons, grapefruit, pink in particular, unless you're on a particular medication for blood pressure, you might, or even a depression medication, pink or regular grapefruit might not be indicated. So check with your pharmacist on that, or your doctor, or the medication would probably list it if you can't have the grapefruit. But that really can help, just because that vitamin C and all of those citrus fruits. So keep that in mind. That'll help increase production of the white blood cells, which, you know, for your patients and for yourself, really can help in fighting infections. You want to get that WBC up, okay? And I know as far as the citrus fruits, let's see, clementines, tangerines, tangelos, like I said, lemons, limes, even, you know, squeezing it in your water so you're not drinking a lot of sugary drinks that can cause inflammation. You want to get away from the inflammation. And I know sometimes you just need that boost, but just more fluids in general without all the sugar in it. So, and all the artificial sweeteners and things like that. So I just would say, you know, even as a cucumber for that matter, but citrus is awesome. 75 milligrams for women. It used to be 60. 90 milligrams for men if you smoke, which I hope you don't, because that's going to really mess with your lungs, as you well know. But you know, you really want more vitamin C if you smoke, and hopefully not. But we always said 100 milligrams for smokers, so it could even be more. And you probably don't want to ever go beyond 2,000 milligrams. That can get, you know, it really is water soluble, so you're probably wasting your money on it. We don't want to have a rebound scurvy when you take a lot and then you stop taking it, then it can cause problems. So, you know, it might help you recover from a cold quicker. There's no evidence about that. But the good thing about wearing a mask is it can help with the colds and the flus as well, which you probably are aware of that. Peppers, I know a lot of people like green peppers. For me personally, being a culinary grad, I don't like green peppers. I think they give you indigestion and heartburn and all that because they're not really ripe. I like the yellow, orange, and red. Red in particular, any red type of fruit or vegetable is really helpful because it's just got so much color. The red peppers have tons more beta carotene and nutrition. So I would recommend the red. It has 3 times as much vitamin C as the other peppers and so much beta carotene. So besides boosting your immune system, that vitamin C can help you maintain healthy skin. Beta carotene can convert to the vitamin A, which you know you don't want to take vitamin A except for if it's in your multivitamin, no more than 4 to 5,000 IUs. Beyond that, it can be toxic, as you well know, to the liver. So you rather have it from the food to keep your eyes and skin and healthy, which, you know, your skin is your biggest organ. So that's really important. And you know, if you're working in oncology, you know, skin cancer can be prevalent. And in this part of the country, we're not talking about vitamin D yet, although vitamin D is in the mushrooms, and most of you probably need to supplement your vitamin D. If you haven't had it checked, I would. If you have light skin, you're going to need it, and if you have dark skin, you're going to need more. I got off track for a second, but vitamin D, I've worked with thousands of patients in their labs, and vitamin D is low in almost everybody. You want your vitamin D lab to be at least 50 to 70, 80 is great. A lot of my patients over the years have had vitamin Ds under 30. So I always ask your doctor what it is and see if you can get it checked. I recommend at least 1,000 to 3,000 IUs a day for Caucasians and possibly Asians. But if you're, you know, have real dark skin or African American, then I would recommend up to 4,000 to 5,000 IUs a day. If you have to have it boosted up, then I usually recommend 50,000 IUs 1 to 2 times a week for 12 weeks of vitamin D, and then resume with just a daily regimen, whether it's 1 to 3,000 or 4 to 5,000 for darker skin. But so you have to continue that. You can't just get that boost and then stop. Okay. And that's in addition to a multivitamin, which I do take every day, because we can't eat perfectly every day. It's just not possible, especially if you're stressed out and working all the time. I know when I worked at Mercy and Tri Health, I rarely got lunches, so I was drinking protein drinks and or bars or whatever. So consider that if necessary, if you don't have time to eat a normal lunch. Otherwise, a healthy lunch would be best. Number 3, broccoli. Excellent cruciferous vegetable. There's a lot of other cruciferous vegetables. I know I'll be making a crispy cauliflower this Friday. If you want to tune in, or you can watch it later. All the videos are recorded just like this one. This will be uploaded to YouTube. So broccoli is supercharged with vitamins and minerals. You can always dip it in like a Greek yogurt, just high in protein, or a light sour cream, or a salsa, chunky salsa. I know I just got some of the cheat cheese and it was really good. It's packed with vitamin A, C, and E, as well as fiber, antioxidants. It's one of the healthiest vegetables you can put on your plate, as a matter of fact, help prevent colon cancer. And then also you want to cook it as little as possible, steam it, microwave it rather than just, boiling it. It's going to take a lot of that vitamin C out. So, and it does say research says that steaming is the best way. Okay. Garlic, awesome, awesome, awesome. You can put it in the oven, just cut the top off and use it like your butter. Seriously, it'll just take, it'll just melt like butter if you roast it. And that's an awesome thing. Or just put it in any kind of cuisine that you make. I mean, anything. I mean, take your greens and cook, just sort of sweat your onions and garlic or shallots or whatever, and then add a bunch of greens together and maybe add a little bit of fresh tomatoes and put it over brown or black rice, and you have a wonderful meal. It's just awesome. I would even add beans to it if you're up for it, because it's a great meatless meal. So as far as early civilizations, it recognized garlic as fighting infections. It also slows down the hardening of arteries. And there's a little bit of evidence that it may help lower blood pressure. And I know when I used to work with nurses and check in people's labs, everybody before they came out with the odorless garlic pills, everybody smelled of garlic. So anyway, but it does have the immune boosting properties because of the allicin. It's a sulfur containing compound. So that's something to think about. And then 5 is ginger, which I absolutely love. You can put it in about anything. Actually, I put that ginger in with the greens and the garlic and the onions in the greens dish. And I can eat it with anything. And it can really help with nausea for your patients or for yourself. I'm not much on soda. About the only time I ever would drink soda ever is if it's a ginger ale when I get migraines, and that helps a little bit with my stomach. Otherwise, I don't drink soda at all because that sugar is very inflammatory and a lot of empty calories. And then it can also reduce the sore throat, inflammatory illnesses, and like I said, help with nausea. I know a lot of when I worked on maternity floor at Tri Health, the high risk floor, we ginger was something that was utilized, even if it was just like a ginger pop or anything along those lines. Ginger is something that really helps. They're suggesting that ginger packs some heat in the form of a ginger roll, ROL, a relative of capsaicin, which is the hot that a lot of people like, and it gives you that good mood feeling. So if you do have something hot and spicy, and then you want to, to get that good mood feeling, serotonin, then you can have the ginger to calm your stomach down. So it's sort of funny. They're sort of connected in a way. And then ginger can also decrease chronic pain, which I have from a back bulging disc as well as the migraine. So it may even possess cholesterol lowering properties. And that's probably why, well, that's not why everybody had that's why they had the garlic, but the ginger may help as well. Okay. So those are 2 great combinations. Spinach is number 6, which goes along with the initial greens that I talked about. Spinach is just awesome. I love spinach even, I love it so many ways. I like it, you know, in a salad. I like it mixed with other greens. I like it in the cooked, what I call cooked on meat, which is what I mentioned with the onions, the garlic, the ginger, the mixed greens, and the tomatoes over the brown or black rice. But also, you can make a smoothie and put spinach. You cannot taste it, and you go ahead and just add blueberries or mixed berries, and then maybe some Greek yogurt, or if you like almond milk or soy milk or low fat 1% or skim milk, and it just makes a wonderful smoothie. And you can get your greens in that way. Just put a handful in every time you make a smoothie. And then, similar to broccoli, spinach is another one of the healthiest when it's cooked as little as possible. And also another way is if you like eggs Benedict or something, you can add a little spinach that way. Just saute a little bit of it, and have it alongside with your eggs or whatever on a whole wheat English muffin, just a half, not a whole, just to save on, unless you get little mini ones or something. So it also helps to absorb the vitamin A because we have vitamin C, we have oxalic acid, another anti-nutrient that, so you want to check out some spinach recipes, and other greens as well. And then I'm going to talk about yogurt. It's one of my favorite desserts. I just absolutely love yogurt. I prefer the Greek, mainly because it's got a lot more protein. And there's so many options of yogurts now. You have the yogurt drinks, the yogurt, that you can make smoothies. You can use it in lieu of sour cream, for dips, all kinds of things. With maybe a little bit of low-fat granola, just for your potatoes, you name it. And it has, look for the ones that have live and active cultures though, or numerous strains. The different strains do different things to help that gut-brain connection via the vis-a-vis the vagus nerve. So it really helps stimulate your immune system to help fight disease. And then if you want to put a little drizzle of honey or pure maple syrup, then that would be the best bet rather than refined sugar. Okay, if you were to get the plain, all right. And it's also a great source of vitamin D, which once again is your body's natural defense against disease. And once again, you don't need whole milk to get vitamin D. Okay, all milk has vitamin D because a lot of people think you need whole milk. That's not true. That just has saturated fat. Okay. So let's see. They do have clinical trials on its possible effects on COVID-19 as far as yogurt and so forth and vitamin D, but it's not all, out there yet. Almonds, I am a big nut lover. Any kind of nuts are going to help you with your weight and with your mood and with your health. So you got to watch the portions now. It's only about 2 to 4 tablespoons per day, but I put walnuts and almonds in just about everything, in my yogurt, in my oatmeal. Oatmeal can help calm you down, help you sleep, help you relax. But I'm talking about almonds now. So that's just something that can help fight off colds. It has vitamin E, so it takes a back seat to vitamin C. You don't want to take a vitamin E pill. I can tell you that. That's a fat soluble vitamin that can be, build up to be toxic. But the, the fat in the almonds is a healthy fat, just like in walnuts. And you want those healthy fats. Adults only need about 15 milligrams of vitamin E. So it says a half cup serving of almonds, which is about 46, provides 100% of the daily amount of vitamin E. That's a little bit too much. I usually try to keep my portion to about a quarter cup of nuts a day. If you go with a half cup, hopefully you're pretty active, but it'll make you feel full. Whereas there's a study with like a ton of nurses, I can't remember if it was 15,000 or something, and half of them had potato chips and half of them had nuts, the same calories, but the ones that had the nuts lost weight. The ones that had the chips did not. So that's just a really good reason to eat nuts over chips, aside from all the good nutrition you're going to get. Okay, so something to think about. Sunflower seeds, or any seeds. I'm just going to say any seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, any kind of seeds are healthy for you. But Sunflower in particular have phosphorus, magnesium, B6, and E. Magnesium is just awesome for you. It works 300 enzymes in every cell. It helps you relax. It helps you sleep. We're usually not getting enough magnesium unless you're eating nuts and seeds and whole grains, by the way. Not that you have to eat a ton of them, just 3 whole grains a day at least. And then sunflower seeds have a lot of selenium. Brazil nuts as well. You only need 2 Brazil nuts to get your selenium. Now, as far as selenium, though, just 1 ounce, which is 2 tablespoons, will give you the amount of selenium that you need. So it's either 2 Brazil nuts or 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds. Okay, so that's always really cool. Sesame seeds are good too. I know I'm going to put that on the crispy cauliflower along with a really nice dip. So you'll have to look me up if you want that. And then I do have Ask the RD on there every Monday. I do it live, but it's recorded. So if you want more information, I know that they laid me off after 13 years at Mercy and 13 years at TriHealth, and I spent time in Dallas working as well. But so I don't know how many dietitians you have, but like I said, I've been in the field of almost 40 years, and feel free to look up any of my little talks. If you want more information on your time off, which I'm sure is not much because I never had time off. I always was in school on vacation to continue my education. 10 is turmeric. The only thing about turmeric is you want to have it with pepperine for it to be really absorbed well. And you want to make sure that you're not on a blood thinner. Okay. So turmeric's in many of the curries. If you like Indian food, that's going to help. It's a bitter spice. It's been used for years as an anti-inflammatory for osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and it also has high concentrations of curcumin. It can help with exercise-induced muscle damage. It has promise as an immune booster based on animal studies and antiviral. So there's definitely more research needed, but you've probably heard that. And if you like the taste of turmeric, or even if you don't, you can get it in capsules or you can put it in your food. I know a lot of people are putting it in their smoothies and other things like that. 11 is green tea. Now, I did research on green tea in grad school, and I know it's becoming more and more popular and something to think about. Both green and black tea are packed with flavonoids. Now, it is a type antioxidant. Green tea does excel over black tea because of the EGCG, but I would say drinking it is going to be a better, more beneficial than the what's in a pill. And that's just based on my studies. You would have to drink pretty much, but some people do drink a lot of coffee. And actually, when I studied it, now this has been a little while ago, but tea is really the drink that's preferred over the world. Coffee in the States here, but which also can be beneficial actually. But you don't want to really overdo it if you're sensitive to the caffeine. And I would recommend if you get the decaffeinated to get the water infused rather than the chemical decaffeinated. And you can get that. I used to get, I'm not doing it right now, but I used to get the, what is it called? It's on Amazon, and it's, oh gosh, I'm trying to think. They got a bunch of water infused decaf coffees if you prefer that, but I think it's really the coffee bean and the tea leaves more so than the caffeine, obviously, that's going to give you that benefit. But it's something like something no Joe or no caffeine Joe or something like that. But you can find water infused if you want to get the benefits of the coffee, and even like herbal green teas, and other teas that are herbal can still give you benefits. But they're suggesting the green tea being the best. The amino acid is L-theine. As far as dark chocolate is theobromine, 70% or higher of the cacao. And then, so caffeine and coffee, L-theanine and tea, and theobromine in the dark chocolate is where you're getting the benefits, okay? And that can actually help in the production of germ-fighting compounds in your T cells. So I assume you know the T cells, being in oncology. You may not know what yours are, but it can help with that, help with it, bring those T cells up. Papaya. Any kind of melon is going to be really, really good for you. And it's going to be lower in calories, just like berries. I'm surprised I haven't mentioned berries yet because I'm big on blueberries, any kind of berries, goji berries, you name it. But papaya, cantaloupe, watermelon, all those are excellent. But the papaya in particular is another fruit loaded with vitamin C. You can double the daily recommended amounts of the vitamin C in a single medium fruit. So papayas have the enzyme, just like pineapples have the digestive enzyme called papain, which is anti-inflammatory. And papayas have a decent amount of potassium, magnesium, once again, and folate, which folate's really important for women who are pregnant or want to become pregnant, because we need 400 micrograms a day, 800 for pregnancy, and also for heart health. Really important. I worked as a cardiac dietitian for many years, and for Dean Ornish for Mercy, if you remember that. I don't know, it's been a while. And so it's beneficial for your overall health. Another one that's really, really yummy and available right now is kiwi. And that, like papayas, are full of essential nutrients, including folate, potassium, vitamin K, and vitamin C, which vitamin K is made in the gut, but that doesn't necessarily mean we always have enough to, keep that healthy gut. So, and the vitamin C boosts the white blood cells once again. So you want to keep those WBCs high, fight infection. And it also has other nutrients to keep the rest of your body, healthy and proper and functioning properly. 14 is poultry. You probably may have heard how we've known this for a long time about red meat, but honestly, I try to really keep my red meat limited. I love it, but it doesn't digest that well. If you were to eat it, I would only do it once or twice a week and stick with your loin or round cuts or filet mignon. But poultry, meaning really chicken or turkey, is really gonna be best. White meat best, unless you're iron deficient. And if you're iron deficient, then go ahead and eat the dark meat. And you'll know if you have pica because you're, craving non-food items like dirt, clay, gosh, you just having unusual cravings for ice or whatever. So then you want to get your iron checked or your ferritin checked, even better. And so anyhow, it's high in B6, the chicken and the turkey. So 3 ounces is all you need. That's 1/3 of your B6 for the day. Usually a multivitamin will give you the B vitamins, but if not, if you're having problems with your hair, skin, nails, a B complex would be in order, more so than biotin. A lot of people just go for biotin. I like a B6 complex, or not a B6 complex, just a B complex. But B6 plays an important role as far as chemical reactions in the body, and it helps with formation of new red blood cells. So that's really, really important. Now, if you're a vegan, obviously there's a lot of what they call meat analogs, and Morningstar has some really good ones. I was vegetarian. I was pesca vegetarian, so I ate fish, and that's what I try to do mostly now, is eat a lot of beans and fish. So I'll eat a little bit of chicken or turkey, and I try to get the ones without nitrites or nitrates or artificial flavorings and things, especially after cancer. And surely you want your patients to do the same if you can give them some of these tips, and for yourself and your family. Once you've had cancer, believe me, if you haven't had it, and maybe you had or have a family member, you just really, you change your whole mindset. Being a dietitian for all these years and then being on the other side of the bed, believe me, I was serious before, but now I'm even more serious. And, it just changes everything, especially when you're bald, believe me. And you know it because you work in this. But when I went from being the medical professional to the patient, it just changes. So The stock or the broth made by boiling the bones contains the gelatin, chondroitin, and other nutrients, and even the bone broth with the collagen. So that's a whole nother topic, but that could be something for gut healing and immunity as well. If you, it usually takes about 10 to 12 hours to do any kind of meat type bones, only about 2 hours for fish bones, and for vegetables or scraps or whatever, only 1 to 2 hours, and you can make really nice unsalted healthy broth for your soup. So keep your scraps and freeze them, and you can save a lot of money and not have to buy all the organic broths and things, for $2-3 a box or whatever with MSG. You don't want that. So that's what I try to do when I can, when I'm chopping up vegetables, is just the scraps of the onion peels and the celery and the carrots and whatever you have. Go ahead and save that and freeze it, and then go ahead and just cook it off and strain it, and then you got a really nice broth to drink or to use as a base for soups and stews coming up this fall. Shellfish is a really good one if you can eat it. It's my favorite crab and lobster and shrimp. It may have some cholesterol, but it's low in fat. Usually your cholesterol is high because of your genetics more so than the food you eat. Okay, so I would say, even though you don't think it is going to boost your immune system, it does, because it's packed with zinc. I'd rather you get zinc from food than from pills. If you take too much zinc, usually we only recommend zinc typically when there's a wound, and then you need at least a couple milligrams of, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank now. I want to say zinc and copper. I want to say it's copper, a couple milligrams. Otherwise, you might deplete your copper. So you want to keep that in mind. If you get zinc from pills, that you could deplete the copper. So zinc from food is a better choice. And anyhow, the varieties would be oysters, crab, lobster, mussels. I do not like mussels, but if you do, go for it. The amount you want of zinc in your diet is 11 milligrams for adult men, 8 milligrams for women. People who take the pills are usually 40 or 50 milligrams, and that's what I would give only with a wound, not typically as a standard pill to take on a daily basis. So if you do, only for a short period of time, if you're trying to get through, COVID or whatever, people take it during flu season or something, but don't take that for a long time. It could cause problems. And it does say too much zinc can actually inhibit immune system function. So don't think, oh, I'm just going to take zinc, 40, 50 milligrams, because it can inhibit immune function. Okay. So I think some of the other things is paying attention to serving sizes, and a flu-proof your home, as you probably already have, just like at work. But I do want to talk about sleep, if I didn't mention that on the first time. If you get less than 7 hours sleep a night, then you might want to consider at the same time, getting up at the same time if it's possible, unless you're on a split shift kind of thing. Actually, you have a hormone called ghrelin that is the go hormone, and if you don't get that 7 hours, it's going to make you eat more. So consider sleep as part of your self-care. Consider yoga or meditation. We have Cheryl doing yoga on our website, so you can work with Cheryl on that. And then I want to mention this website too, because I try to do this. I use a Calm app. I highly recommend the Calm app. There's other apps out there. Headspace is one of them, I believe. There's more than that. And then I sent Sally Blessing, I think your colleague, some information, but if it was unclear, I would go ahead. There's a tapping app. If you Google tapping for first responders, it's really cool. I love it. And it's EFT, which is essentially a program which you may have seen, that you can get 6 months free if you're a first responder, a nurse, a teacher, an educator. So I signed up for that and they gave it to me. And essentially you're doing things with your head, and tapping above your eyebrows. You're tapping below your eyes, above your mouth, below on your chin, and then on your chest, sort of where you have all your lymphatic system, and then on your arms, essentially your lymphatic system, and that you have different mantras for different kinds of anxiety and depression and stress and this type of thing. They have all different things you can do. So I would really Google that and sign up, and then you can use it whenever you want, because they are given 6 months for first responders. So you just Google it, free tapping for first responders. And if you have any trouble, just email me at maria@recoverycenterhc for hamiltoncounty.org, and I'll send information to you, or if you have questions for me. The other one I was going to suggest I signed up for, it's gratefulness. I want to say, hold on, I just lost my thing. It's gratefulness.org, and I signed up for that because what I try to do on my Calm app, which you can check out, the gratefulness.org, and I can always send that to you if you email me at maria at recoverycenterhc.org. There's a whole thing on that, which is so cool, because when we're going through these hard times, the gratefulness, it's not an app, but it's a whole website, just trying to think of what you're grateful for. I think that really, really helps. I would just highly recommend it. And that's one thing. And then I try to do, like on the Calm app, different meditations. The gratefulness website is another one, and then the tapping. So I'm just all about just anything holistic, okay? And, Sit and Be Fit is another one, which they have on PBS several times a day, and even on other channels as well, or even on websites. You can get a lot of free yoga and you name it. But like I said, we have Cheryl doing yoga on our website. And we have lots of other classes too online. So, and I believe 741-741, you can text someone if you want support. So just text 741-741, and you just text, and someone will be there for you if you just need to just like totally get some stress relief without seeing anybody or talking to anybody. So it's just 741-741, and immediately you'll be connected. Okay. 211 is another one. You can just text to get resources. And there is another phone number you can call to get help from somebody if you're just totally stressing out. It's the warm line. I would just Google the warm line because I don't have that number memorized. You could always call our front desk at 513-241-1411, and they'll give you the number for the Calm line. So I really have a lot of resources, but feel free to email me, really, because I could really help you now that I am at the recovery center. I didn't know how many resources there were until I got laid off. I mean, I knew all of them in cardiac, bariatrics, diabetes, all the areas I've worked in throughout the years. But once I ended up there, it's like, oh boy, there's a lot of things out there. So I'm probably going to end it because it's been about 40 to 45 minutes, and I think that should hopefully help you. But I would just suggest really doing what I try to do is just take some time out and breathe. Just, and another one is, aside from breathing, which I did some on the first video that's on YouTube, is to, what was the other thing? I breathe and meditate, and then I do a thing called thought stopping. So when I start thinking about the past or the future or worrying, I'm just like, Maria, stop, just whatever I'm thinking about that I can't do anything about, I just, put it in a box and, just put it away, or put it in a boat and go down the river and just do thought stopping. And I think that's a really good technique. We offer for our members CBT, cognitive behavior therapy. And I've learned so much. I can't even believe it. I mean, I teach a lot of different classes now, on anxiety, on Taming Your Dragons, which Dr. Amen is about to come on at 7 o'clock, actually, to do a class on happiness, which I somehow I got involved in that. I don't know. He just sent me an email. So I sent that to Sally. So get a hold of Sally if you want to jump in on that, because it's at 7 o'clock tonight with Dr. Amen, who has the book on Taming Your Dragons, which I'm teaching right now, and it's really good. It's been advertised all over. So if you're interested, check that book out. It's awesome. It's Dr. Amen and his wife Tanya, and that book on Taming Your Dragons is really awesome. So I'm going to end with that. I'm going to just wish you all the best. Thank you for being awesome first responders and helpful in oncology, because that's an area I did not work in a lot. I did a little here and there. I covered various hospitals, but I surely never knew I would end up being in it as a patient. So thank you for all your hard work. And I hope that some of these tips helped. And I'm going to sign off. I'm hoping that I am ending right, because it's being recorded, and that you'll get to get some of this information. Okay. So have a good evening. And I guess go Reds, because I heard that was good news yesterday for the what is his name? I forget. I don't know. The one guy that did all the great stuff. I should know. My sister's really into it more than I am. But anyhow, so if you're a Reds fan, and I think they have a game tomorrow because our members are going there. So Votto, Joey Votto. Okay. So have a great night. Thanks for joining me, and hopefully you'll get to watch it. Okay. See y'all later. I'm gonna stop video. Okay.